Hi guys, this is Ami and I'm here with my special guest.
Hi, I'm Molly.
She's my little sister. Me and my sister are going to be talking about the pros and cons of being in an ADN program versus a
BSN program.
And just to FYI, we live in the state of California, so the requirements for every program are going to vary. So we're going to go over a few topics. We're going to go over the price, how long each program takes, the requirements, what the pay is like, what the job offers are like, and just overall experiences. The price of an ADN program, it can vary between $600 to $800. For me, I went to a community college in Southern California and my whole tuition was thankfully paid for.
And then for my BSN program, a semester is roughly around $4,000. There's 2 semesters in a year, and in all, it's a 3-year-long program. And that's a Cal State school,
So for the requirements to get into each program, they're pretty much the same. So for an ADN program, I had to take microbiology, chemistry, anatomy, physiology, along with the other GE requirements. I'm sure you had to take them too, right?
Yeah, all the same. I had to take the same science courses to get into my nursing program, and as well as all the GEs like
statistics,
speech, writing,
a capstone class, the TEAS test. I took the TEAS test, she took the TEAS test. There's many ways to get into a nursing program. My community college, they based it off of a lottery program, but they also took into account GPA. So for my program, the way they selected students was based on their GPA. So people who had a GPA between 3.5 to 4.0 had a 50% chance of getting into the nursing program. Those with a GPA between 3.0 to 3.5 had a 25% chance. And students between 2.5 to 3.0 also had a 25% chance of coming in. The eligible participants each year, they open up the program twice a year. They open up about 500 to 550 positions for students to get into the nursing program.
So for mine, keep in mind it might be different from school to school, but we went on a point system. I think the max amount of points you could get was around like 60 something, around there. But they took into account your GPA, so you get more points if you get higher GPA, obviously. They also took into account volunteer hours. You get more points for that.
Yeah, for ADN, we didn't have to do volunteer hours. If you have good grades on your TEAS, good grades on your GPA.
Oh yeah, and the TEAS was included, obviously. You got a certain amount if you hit a certain percentage, so just check that in with your school to find out more.
For my ADN program, it took me 2 years, and we had semesters.
And then my BSN, traditional BSN program was 3 years. You can also do the 2-year route to get a BSN. It's called an accelerated BSN program, but I hear it's pretty intense.
People do that route though, 2 years, because right when you finish school, you can start working right away, making money. And I feel like a lot of people who have families choose that route.
And also, quick thing, if you're interested in the accelerated BSN program, you already have to have a degree. So another difference between ADN programs and BSN programs is that you have more classes in the BSN program. So there's some classes that I took that she didn't take in the beginning. So for example, there's nursing research. I had to take leadership and also clinical. I also had to do community health / public health nursing and a clinical class, so lecture and clinical. And then I also did a family nursing class.
So as far as clinical wise, I believe I had to have 1,800 hours for my whole 2 years in the ADN program. Do you remember how many hours you had to have?
No, but each clinical rotation was between 90 to like 120 hours, and we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 or 7 clinicals. So
yeah,
I can't do the math.
I probably had to go to clinicals once or twice a week on top of my lecture, so it was no joke. For the pay, in California, there are some hospitals that do pay ADN and BSN the same amount, although in the hospital I work at, there is a $1 to $6 differential for those who hold a BSN.
And sometimes some job applications only accept BSNs, but also a lot of hospitals are like, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean?
The first hospital I worked at, there was a mix of ADN and BSN students. This hospital didn't discriminate. They pretty much hired ADN nurses, and to this day there are nurses there who have been nurses for 30+ years who still have their ADN degree. Although for BSN, I know you can move up and down the ladder, right?
So for more of the job outlook for a BSN, besides the slightly higher pay, you could take on administrative roles. So you could be a nurse manager with the BSN. You could do stuff like be a nurse educator and whatnot.
Yeah, my manager at my hospital, she has her BSN and she loves her job. She's been a manager for forever. And you can move from hospital to hospital easier too with the BSN. They're requiring that right now, so that's partially the reason why I got my BSN within the year. So my experience in my ADN program overall, it was good. I received a lot of information. There was about 60 people in my cohort, and I stayed with those same 60 people throughout the 2 years, although some people did drop out, unfortunately, because it is a hard and very, very demanding career choice. Going to school, you have to do a lot. Clinicals, we had to do 12-hour shifts at least once or twice a week. Care plans are the same. Some teachers were helpful, some teachers were
Not.
Let's just say that I feel like
Question mark.
Whatever program you go to, you're gonna find that one teacher that's always gonna test you. And what was interesting in my program that we discussed earlier was that there were a lot of people from many different ages in my program. We had mothers, we had a lot of men, we had young people, we had middle-aged people, very diverse. We had people who already had finished school and decided to come back to school for nursing.
And then for my experiences, for my class size, I think it started at around 40, but then some people dropped out and stuff. So right now we have like 35, something like that. And then for clinicals, yeah, BSNs obviously have to have more clinical hours because more classes. But yeah, it's like no different, like nursing skills.
Yeah, it's the same thing. We basically, as an ADN nurse, we finish our program to take the NCLEX right away. Most people who go into this program do it so that once they finish, they can work right away. I didn't have a problem finding a job as an ADN with an ADN degree. My first job was working in a wellness clinic. It wasn't a hospital job, but luckily in Los Angeles, after I was tired of my clinic job, I was able to secure a hospital job.
Most of the people in my class, if you're interested, they're around my age, so like in their 20s basically. It's kind of interesting to hear that she has a lot of different ages. And another thing is that I had the chance to dorm, if any of you are interested in that, obviously, because the program is longer and maybe it's away from home. So dorming might be an option for you, or getting an apartment somewhere
and socialize. One thing that we haven't discussed is the ADN to BSN bridge program. So I finished my ADN in 2 years. I went to work for 1.5 years and decided to go back to school for another year to get my BSN. Thankfully, my community college had a sister school, which was a Cal State, so I went to that Cal State and received my bachelor's degree. If you are looking to graduate quickly, get a nursing degree, take your NCLEX and work, the ADN route is definitely for you. Although I would highly recommend going back and getting your BSN degree, just because that is the new standard today in nursing.
And then I would recommend a BSN program for you if you're okay with having a little bit more time in school, and this way it's kind of easier. You don't have to like transfer schools and whatnot. You're just there the whole time getting your BSN. So yeah,
I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions, please leave it down in the comments below. If you want to, please follow us at our Instagram. Mine is Ami Shoisham and hers is Malls the Nurse.